Hi everybody, I'm Jack. This is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Well, I'm shooting this on a Sunday morning and I'm realizing today that it's getting time to go back here pretty soon. I'll leave to go back to Costa Rica on Wednesday, so I think today's going to be a video day. I need to not catch up, but I need to actually get ahead and do a few videos and have them ready for my travel days and days to get back, because I like to get myself a little cushion there. So I'm going to do a few videos today and probably go to the gym, work out this afternoon, and just have a nice, it's beautiful weather here again. So anyhow, today I want to talk about how to get started on this raw vegan lifestyle. I do videos every day, so if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate if you'd hit that subscribe button now so you can come back for more. And when you hit it, click on the little bell and check send notifications so you will stay subscribed to the channel. Today, I want to get straight to the heart of the matter, and I want this to just be some really practical little hacks for getting you started on this lifestyle, to get jump started on this lifestyle. Taking the time to actually put a little thought behind the process, a little bit of a thought behind how you're going to approach doing this can really get you there a lot faster. So many people just either do it haphazardly, or they just kind of stumble along. And they hear about making a plan and they kind of loosely make one in their head, but actually this fits to everybody's personality type. Not everybody's a planner, not everybody has the same process, but I find that the more detailed you will be with your plan, the more, just little particulars you put in there, the more you personalize it for you, the bigger chance you have of success. So one of the first things I'm going to try to say is don't try to reinvent the wheel. There's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of people that are doing the lifestyle out there that are succeeding on it. Yes, we're all individuals, but look at other people's processes and see how they do it. You don't necessarily, everybody kind of, I feel this a lot of times. I'm talking to somebody and, I'm giving them some advice, or they're asking me questions, and they're always holding back. And that is kind of a holding back type of mechanism where everybody's got my process and where they want to do everything completely their way and they want to respin it. And it's like, well, this person is doing it like this and getting results, but I need to do it like this. No, make it easy on yourself. That's what I've always liked to do with things, because I find that's kind of my lazy man's approach to it. Like, I'll let somebody else, I find people that I respect, but I'm also kind of like, okay, well, they've kind of done the groundwork. I see what results they're getting. I understand that what they're doing. So it's not like I'm just blindly following somebody, that I've seen how they look or how they feel or whatever. But yeah, use these little tricks and use these people. Listen, I keep saying, find the people. Don't complain about YouTubers do this, YouTubers do that, or I don't like this one or I don't like that one. Find who resonates with you, and maybe their process will resonate with you as well. Use Google and YouTube. Use Google and YouTube. I talk about this in my videos all the time. Be your own researcher. Don't leave it to other people. Asking questions is okay. I don't want to make it where I've discouraged people from asking questions, because I do that too. But I guess what I'm saying, my process is if I'm trying to find out something, I will watch as many videos on the subject. I will read as much on the subject. I will try to digest as much of that subject on my own without asking any questions, no questions, until I get to kind of a sticking point. When I feel like I can't get any further, when I figure like I can't get a better understanding of the subject on my own, and I've read all the information, and maybe I'm getting to some conflicting information, then I'll ask questions. But doing that from the beginning, you're just getting random amounts of information. Like I've mentioned a number of videos, like just people that just go to their all their Facebook groups and ask some general question. Hey, what does everybody think of this? And then you're getting 30 or 40 different answers from every group you go to. And some of them are just batshit crazy. I mean, some of them are good, but you have to weed through a lot of stuff. I prefer to go to Google. I prefer to go to YouTube. I prefer to watch those videos. I prefer to go through the websites or whatever it is on Google that I find, use my filters, kind of, get what makes sense to me, and then hone it down before I start asking my questions. So all that research is at the tips of your fingers. So much stuff is out there, even like there's books out there that you can a lot of times find them online. You don't even necessarily have to buy them. So, Google, 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 Google. I can't stress it enough. Have a detailed plan for your transition. And don't be afraid to even make it kind of silly. When I mean silly, I mean don't be afraid to make it like overly detailed. I like to see, haven't talked about this in a while, I always like to see people moving forward. That's one thing I always suggest. In your plan, in your transition, you don't have to go any faster than you're comfortable with, but always be moving forward just a little bit, because baby steps lead to little successes, tiny successes. I mean, maybe it's like, I don't know. Maybe you're going from being a full SAD eater, standard American diet eater, to, this week you're going to, and you eat meat every day. So this week you're going to cut down. You're only going to eat week 1. You're just coming into veganism. You're just trying to get raw. You're week 1. You've been eating meat 7 days a week. You're going to eat meat 4 days a week. Or if that's 5 days, 4, 3. But you set it to where you're constantly moving forward. So this week you've only eaten 5. At the end of the week, you have something to celebrate. Every time you can celebrate a success, that's very psychologically rewarding. The brain likes these small successes, and it builds on these small successes. So every little thing you do, you start building these up along the way. They may seem small, but they add up, and they kind of get you psyched to get to the next level. In the beginning, you'll look back eventually and say, well, that wasn't that big. But, you went from eating meat 7 days a week, you're a huge meat eater, to, wow, 2 weeks later, I'm not eating meat 2 days a week. And then a month later, wow, I'm only eating meat 2 days a week. 6 weeks, you're not eating meat anymore. And you see that progression with the dairy, but you're constantly celebrating little victories. And when you celebrate those little victories, like each week you tick, and you get excited about that, and you move forward a little bit more. And each one of those successes just builds your resolve. And it makes you stronger. And then you move forward and you set new goals. That's why when we're setting goals in life, I always have felt like, the more we're constantly achieving goals, the better. We build on that. It gets that momentum going. So, it's always good. And just a little something I'd throw in there too. I think it's good to always have very short-term goals, middle range goals, and long-term goals, because then those little short-term ones, you're almost like, you're setting one of those almost every day. You're knocking one of those off, or every few days, you're doing this, but you're constantly moving forward. It is so just psychologically good for you. I'm trying to think of the word, motivating, when you do those little successes. So always try to be moving forward, and don't be afraid to sit down. This is your personal thing. It's like having a journal there, your plan or your food journal or whatever. So don't be afraid well, this sounds stupid. I'm being too detailed. Do whatever you need to do to succeed. There isn't silly. There isn't too detailed. Write it down, plan it out. It might seem to you, to somebody else reads it, that might seem like, wow, this person's neurotic. They're planning every little detail. But if that's what you've got to do for your process, that's what you got to do. And the same thing I'm talking about here can be applied to a lot of different things. I like to talk about stuff on here like that, and that's why I do I deal more with the process, a little bit more of the psychological part of it, because it's all like success at one thing can generally be translated to success at another. It's all about the process. I know I go on and on and on about the process. And processes are different from one thing to another, but there's a lot of similarities. There's a lot of thought patterns that we use that are the same in any process that is going to be successful. And I've always used that to kind of motivate myself. There was a long time that I didn't really realize I was doing it, and it was a little bit more instinctual or a little bit more intuitive. But I've always liked to, anything I'm doing, whether I'm teaching myself something or I'm trying to just complete a job or whatever, I've always liked that of, breaking it down and having those small successes, and breaking it. Oh, wow, I've gotten this far. Yay. I've gotten this far. Yay. And now you start getting really, psyched into it. And then you move yourself forward. It's all about motivation in life. If we're motivated and if we're excited about doing something, we can figure out the particulars. So anyhow, that's where I'll continue to focus here, because like I say, there's a gazillion recipe videos out there. There's the science has already been explained. That's why even sometimes I don't even really necessarily, I'll answer them sometimes, but if I get the same old questions about where do you get the protein and the science questions related to this lifestyle, there's a few videos you can refer people to. It's the process, it's the psychological aspect of it, I think, that everybody's fallen short on. And they don't want to put any work into that part. They just want to keep on and on. If I hear the science a 1,000 more times, maybe it'll sink in. If I get another 150 recipes, maybe I'm going to find that combination, that magic combination of 7 recipes that's going to keep me raw vegan for the rest of my life. No, it's about doing the work. It's about getting through that process. And I'm starting to ramble, so that should be enough for the day. So anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I hope your week is off to a great start. Love you guys. Peace.